Welcome back, and in this lesson we're going to focus on the footer area. And before we do that, within the top container here, I wanted to add in a section for page headings. So this will be our H1 for the page, and we're going to add in a class as well to it. So we're going to set up a Bootstrap class. So this is the page heading area. So because I want every page to be the same, so we're going to have our page heading, and then underneath it we can have maybe some small text, so more about this page. So it gives us an option here to add in additional information that's contained within the page. And then the rest of it can be customized. We can have a grid, and more than likely we're going to be setting up grids for a number of the pages. But this is all we really need in order to set up our main page area. So we've got our page heading there, more about this page, and then all of that content will go below that. So next we need to set up our footer. And for the footer, so this is typically where some copyright information, and we did say social media links as well. So let's set up this part of our page. So again, we're going to use that div class container. It's the same one that we've used before. So this is so that they all fall in line, and that's why we're using them, because each one of these sections, we want the sides to be evened out. So we do want it to fall in line. We also have some options. So with Bootstrap, just as with the navigation menu, we can do background dark. So what this does is, if I go back out to the page and refresh it, it's going to make dark background, but I don't have any content in here yet, so we're not able to see that quite yet. Let's build out a grid here. So we're going to have our class. Remember, we start out with container to build a grid. Next one is row. So that's the next level. And then the last level is another div or another element. And then this one is where we have our basic columns. So do column, and maybe we want to do column MD8. So we're going to do it the same as we did the one up here. And we also want to center that column. So we no longer have to offset it by 2 if we want to get to the full 12. We can just use the automatic centering of the margins. That's new with Bootstrap 4. So there we go. So now we've got our spot in order to add in our social media icons. And if we also have some content here, so if we want to have our copyright content, so we can have that within the paragraph as well. So let's do class, and we'll do that same muted text. So that's actually text muted, so that it kind of grays it out a little bit. And so this is copyright, and we'll just use the and copy your own website 2017. So let's see how this looks. Go back out, refresh it. So there's our copyright, your own website. We need to center this text, and with Bootstrap centering, so it's got an option, text center. So now when we go back out, that text should be centered. Need to save that. And let's actually move this into the column. So we'll do it like that, so that we've got actually some width to our container. So now when we center it, we see that our text is centered. And now we can add in some links, some website links, or social media links, and whatever we want down here as well. So let's go ahead and add those in. And Bootstrap has a way to create lists, and we can change those to inline by using the list. So that's list inline class. And what that will do is that will change all of the list items to be inline. So they're not going to be horizontal, but they're going to be vertically stacked. And we just need to identify those list items with, again, the Bootstrap class. So with Bootstrap 4 now, there's more options for lists and more you can do with lists. And this is one that we can do as inline. So maybe if we want to link out to Facebook, and maybe you've got a YouTube profile, and also let's do a Twitter profile. So So there we go. So now we're linking out to those. Those should be listed out. So we see them getting listed out there, and they're not exactly, we need to also center them as well. So let's take care of centering it. So text centered, add that class in. So we'll center them, and we want to actually transform these into icons. So we don't want to have them just as regular hyperlinks. We want to have them actually as icons. So let's actually update them as hyperlinks. So href, and then we're going to transform them as icons coming up as well. So I'll show you how to do that. So there's our first one there, and I'm going to just do some quick copy and pasting there and copying it out. So I'm not actually going to link out to anything. I'm just going to use that hash as a placeholder for linking. So there we go. So we've got our social media there, but it's always better to use icons because they're more recognizable as well. So in order to use icons for your content, we're going to use Font Awesome. I'll show you to bring that library into your project in the upcoming lesson. So what I want you to do now is update your current web page, set up that main content container, and then at the bottom, set up the footer and set up some copyright information. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to update these to be icons instead of just regular text links. So that's all coming up in the next lesson.